Hello and welcome to Political Watch. I'm Chanika Imbulana Munasinghe and here's the news that dominated the week. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, appointed to head an interim government, kick-started his mission on economic recovery. A 5-member task force was appointed on a fact-finding mission to obtain proposals to provide relief to the people while eliminating the shortage of essential goods and services. 5 members were appointed and sectioned into 4 special committees. Vajirabe Wardana and Palitha Rangabandara were appointed to ensure essential food items to the public without any shortage. Ruwan Wijewardena has been tasked with obtaining information relating to the medicine shortage. Akila Viraj Karyavasam will be reporting on the fertilizer shortage in the country. Sagala Ratnayaka will be reporting on the petroleum crisis. Heads of mission met Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and discussed on a formation of a forum for aid. Premier Wickremesinghe met with ambassadors of India, Japan, the United States and China and discussed the formation of an international forum for financial assistance. Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagle on Friday became the first foreign envoy to call on the Premier and discussed with him the current situation in the country. The Japanese ambassador reportedly left for Japan the following day to discuss the Sri Lankan situation with his government. Premier Wickremesinghe said he is looking forward to closer ties with India during his term while thanking India for its economic assistance to the country. India has committed more than $3 billion in loans, credit lines and credit swaps since January this year to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's parliament sat for the first time since the Premier took over office. There was pandemonium in Parliament over the appointment of the Deputy Speaker. A long debate erupted in Parliament over the election of Deputy Speaker on gender bias and selection method. Member of Parliament Ajith Rajapaksa as the Deputy Speaker was proposed by the SLPP, while MP Rohini Kumari Wijeratne was nominated by SJB party. MP Vimal Weerawansa on behalf of the 11 parties including Jatika Nidahas Peramuna and MP Maithripala Sirisena on behalf of the independent group of parliamentarians Chaminda Vijayasiri, Nalin Bandara, Chandima Veerakkodi, Mujibur Rahman and many other members of parliament stated that this election was being held at a huge expense and therefore to suggest only one name without opting for a secret ballot. The Speaker announced that unless one of the proposed names may consider withdrawal, a vote has to be called for. A secret ballot was taken in Parliament and 109 votes were cast in favour of Ajith Rajapaksa and 78 votes were cast in favour of Rohini Kumari Wijeratne. There were 23 invalid votes and 13 members of Parliament were recorded absent. MP Ajith Rajapaksa was elected Deputy Speaker of Parliament with a majority of 31 votes. Deputy Speaker of the 9th Parliament, MP Ranjit Siambala Pitya, recently resigned from his position and was subsequently re-elected to the post. However, he submitted his resignation again on the 6th of May. The 4th Magistrate issued travel bans on 13 SLPP politicians. The overseas travel bans on 13 Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna politicians and loyalists included former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, Namal Rajapaksa, Johnston Fernando, Pavitra Wanyarachi, C.B. Ratnayaka, Sanat Nishanta and Sanjeeva Edirimana among others. A travel ban has also been issued on the Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Western Province, Deshabandhu Tennakoon. The ban was issued consequent to an application made on behalf of the Attorney General supported by the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka stumbled towards its first default on foreign debt. Sri Lanka slid into default as the grace period on 2 unpaid foreign bonds neared an end. The country was formally declared in default as it fails to make an interest payment to bondholders before Wednesday when the 30-day grace period for missed coupons on dollar bonds ended. It marked its first default. Former Minister Dr. Pathirana's shocking revelations on goon attacks. Galle District parliamentarian Dr. Ramesh Pathirana reiterated in Parliament that IGP C.D. Wickramaratne and Secretary to the Public Security Ministry Major General Jagath Alves had facilitated the 9th May unprovoked attack on anti-government protesters and were responsible for the violence at Kollupitiya and Fort Police areas, which triggered violence in many parts of the country. MP Dr. Pathirana said that he was among those who had brought supporters to attend a meeting wanting to thank the war-winning president as he was giving up active politics. However, some unscrupulous members had instigated the participants there, he said. Dr. Pathirana said he forewarned senior DIG in charge of Colombo Deshabandhu Tennakoon and he got his assurance. When trouble erupted, President Rajapaksa immediately got in touch with senior DIG Tennakoon, who revealed he has been asked not to use force by the IGP himself. The Prime Minister accepts assistance from the Maldivian Speaker to coordinate international relief efforts. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe accepted the offer extended by former President and current Speaker of Maldives, Mohamed Nasheed, to assist Sri Lanka to overcome the economic crisis with coordinating relief efforts to secure relief for the country from foreign nations. Premier Wickremesinghe also thanked the former President Nasheed for the generous offer. Central Bank Governor hopes for a new finance minister to fast-track the IMF. The governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. Nandalal Weerasinghe, has said that he would prefer to have a finance minister appointed to fast-track the IMF program. He informed while the President and the Prime Minister still can approve it and there has been a good progress in that direction. Finance Minister portfolio is yet to be filled in the new cabinet. And good news from G7 countries. The G7 countries back debt relief efforts of Sri Lanka. The group of 7 economic powers support efforts to provide debt relief for Sri Lanka. G7 and finance chiefs said on Thursday in a draft communique from a meeting in Germany after the country defaulted on a sovereign debt. G7 countries said in their statement they were committed to finding long-term solutions and urged Sri Lanka to negotiate constructively with the IMF on a potential loan program. The draft statement also called on the loan creditor nations not in the Paris Club to coordinate with the groups and urged to provide debt relief on comparable terms. G7 chiefs also singled out China, which has become a major creditor to low-income countries, to actively contribute to debt relief for such countries. And on that positive note, with the good news from G7 countries, we come to the end of Political Watch for this week. Do keep watching Political Watch on Daily Ceylon.